It's the In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show, and just ahead, we talk with the 12 Kings Car Club. We have the events calendar. Mr. Mars reviews the Kia K5. Cool. Not the K4 or 3 or 2 or 1 or 6.
Which they never had.
Could you move that a little bit closer? How long have you been in broadcasting?
But they've never, well, I don't know, you could turn me up too. But, yeah, they never sold a Key 1, 2, 3, or a K.
No, they didn't. I don't know how they come up with a K5.
And you would think Chevrolet would complain about that.
I know, the K5 Blazer.
Right. And I wondered that from the day they announced the name of that car, why Chevrolet never fussed.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you.
No fuss, no muss.
Now there's nothing there, Mike.
Oh, boy.
Hello, 1, 2, 1, 2. Nothing on iHeart. That's great. Well, let me exit out of that, okay?
No, you're there.
Well, he's a little bit too late on the uptake there, so there's nothing I can do. I've already exited out of it. Hello. Hello to the world. All right. Well, at any rate, thank you for joining us today, along with Mike Out of This World Mars, and he really is today. King Conrad DeLong, we need more Jeff Zeke, and I'm Don Armstrong. Glad you could join us today on this Saturday.
And Susie, she's right there in the bottom of the picture.
The Suze is here, and she is really wore out.
She's nestling up.
Yeah. So at any rate, thank you for joining.
Sorry.
You get it all figured out over here? Mars has been in here this morning.
Messing with the wires.
We've begged him every single time. Mike,
don't touch
leave it alone. Don't mess with it.
It worked last week.
It worked last week, but nope. Going to have to jack with it.
And I made the comment that
it's amazing to me that we go through this
every week
and nothing changes during the week, because when we leave here, really, we literally turn the buttons off, come back in, turn the buttons on.
That's sometimes the camera. The camera's always set, but since we've arranged the camera settings, they're perfect. All I do is turn them on. And make sure they're adjusted with focus.
Well, not this. This doesn't work that way.
I only have responsibility of like 6 buttons.
I have no responsibility for anything. I didn't do it.
It's okay. You have no authority either.
None.
Absolutely.
With
none. Responsibility comes authority.
I thought it was the other way around.
I'm just joking.
I'm not. All right. This is a car show. Well, at least we pretend that it is. And we usually have a guest. And right this hour, as we speak, we have with us Mr. Bruce Vanderzyde, with 12 Kings Car Club. Thank you so much for joining us today, Bruce.
Thanks for having me on. Great to be here.
Yeah, well, it's good to have you, at least in our headsets. We don't know about the actual broadcast part of this.
Oh, we're getting out on social media.
It works.
Are we?
Everything's working.
Oh, it's a miracle.
iHeart's working. Everything is.
Wow.
Hello, world.
My heart's working, too.
I know. Jeff celebrated his 75th wedding anniversary.
No, I'm more concerned with the stress test.
And his 55th heart stress test.
There you go. They're all good.
And how about you?
I'm good.
Good?
Had a good week.
Good.
Had a very good week.
Mars, I'm not. You just
don't ask.
Put the sheet up between he and I, and we'll be good. Just teasing.
But Bruce would probably want to talk a little bit about the 12 Kings Car Club.
No, we don't want to talk to Bruce about that. Bruce, you just hang in there. We'll talk to you here in a second. I'm fine. Thank you for asking.
Well, we knew you were fine.
Yeah.
You are.
We heard that rumor.
I heard you got a second job.
What?
Driving for Amazon.
That's huge. I love that truck.
Part-timer.
Oh, my God. The thing is awesome.
I had to worry about clearance underneath the tree this morning when I pulled it in.
Well, I noticed you parked on the other side of the driveway, so you'd be long enough.
Well, and when I pulled in, I thought it was Conrad's new vehicle. And then I looked, and there was nothing on the other side, and I saw yours, obviously. Wait a minute.
Yes, I took delivery of the car of the week, which we'll review next week.
It's awesome.
It is a three-quarter ton, high boy Mercedes-Benz delivery van.
Is it a high boy or is it a high boy?
It's a hey boy. Hi. What?
I like it.
I do
like
too.
And
I like the color.
It's not Amazon gray, but it's kind of this blue gray thing.
It's like a supervisor's van.
It's kind of like the color of the logo for Amazon.
It's
kind of like the inverted color scheme.
Well, I thought about putting on candy or Don the Creeper.
Yeah, Candyman is
Get
here.
the bell out.
Selling ice cream
Yeah,
out of it, right?
get the little bell on. Ding, ding,
I
ding,
will
ding,
tell you
ding,
what,
ding.
the inside, it's got the great big snap-in divider panel between the front and the back.
Oh, I gotta check
protection.
it out.
And so once you're in there,
You're in there to stay.
yeah.
Put a few lounge chairs in the back.
Oh, definitely.
You know, and
Some
uh,
3-inch orange shag carpet.
put a
Oh
hook,
my God, yes, and it's got these
An
walls.
8-track player with
and a hookah pipe.
Jensen coaxial.
Gotta have a hookah
6x9s.
pipe.
Hookah.
Hookah.
Yeah, it would be a bong, is what it would be. It wouldn't be a hookah.
What do you think, Bruce?
Bruce,
Hey,
what do you think?
Bruce is going, what did I
Well, you
get
guys are
into?
losing me there, but
Yeah. Well, we're trying to bring you into the inner circle there, Bruce.
all right.
So,
all right.
Bruce, where are you?
Well, I'm located in San Marcos, Texas. The
Oh,
corner we're in
Very
the-
nice.
Well, we
it's
wanna-
a great place to live.
Well,
Oh,
I
yeah,
know.
very
We
much so.
want to come there.
Yeah. Well, we'll have we'll talk about that.
Were
We got
you-
a car show we're sponsoring out here that I think you'd like.
Were you born and raised there?
Oh my gosh, no, I'm a long way from where that happened. I'm from Canada originally.
Awesome.
Oh yeah.
Awesome.
Oh yeah, eh?
Where at in Canada?
I was born in Calgary and then spent quite a few years in Vancouver, then moved down to Houston and bounced up here to San Marcos,
I'm
Texas.
hoping that you're.
Calvary is like Canada's Texas, though, isn't it?
Very similar.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is, except we got some mountains closer by, but yeah,
And
very culturally the same, I'd say.
and Vancouver is very much like United States is Seattle.
The Vancouver
Exactly.
connects.
Exactly.
You know, a little eccentric, but stunningly beautiful city. I've been to Vancouver.
Mike,
Yes.
Mike is our resident
Go
hoser.
back in a heartbeat.
Mike is the
Beautiful place.
Mike is the resident hoser.
What? Now you're speaking to you're going back to Bob and Doug McKenzie.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Now you guys speak the language. Yeah, you're in.
Well, that's good to know.
So
okay,
how did 12 Kings get their name?
The 12 Kings got our name because Highway number 12 runs from San Marcos, Texas, north to Wimberly, Texas, then up to Dripping Springs, Texas. And that's 3 good towns, and that's where we draw most of our members from. We're off Highway 12, and so our logo is the Highway 12. That's about, I guess, about 40 miles in total, that road.
Okay.
And it's just a real nice, twisty, windy road up and down in hill country here. We live, I think, in the nicest part of Texas. Our car club gets out for monthly cruises, and we're out to take our old cars and get out and drive them. We
There you
want to
go.
enjoy our cars.
Yep.
And we go out to wineries and small town barbecues, and it's just a great place.
The Salt Lick's not a small town barbecue.
Salt Lick, no, but we're out to Blanco,
Okay.
small towns like Blanco or Johnson City, or the real nice, pretty places here.
My son, my daughter, their spouses, they just came back from Wimberly last week, as a matter of fact. It's a very beautiful city.
It is. We love it. We're based out of there, and we sponsor a coffee and cars first Sunday of every month. So if anybody's ever in the neighborhood, come on out at Brookshire Brothers, which is one of our sponsors.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we have coffee and cars, and it's great. I mean, last Sunday we got 187 cars out in the middle of August. My
Whoa.
goodness, and we have over 200 coming out. When the weather's a little cooler, and it's all kinds of cars. It's everything from Model A's up to brand new Corvettes, which used to be rare. Man, I think we had 4 or 5 of them last Sunday. They're everywhere.
So do you draw, because you're pretty central to both Austin and San Antonio, do you draw cars out of both Austin and San Antonio? Or do you find that most of the crowd is maybe a little bit more local?
No, we're drawn from everywhere. In fact, what happens is car clubs from Austin and San Antonio will make a day of it and come out and see come out to our coffee and cars. So we'll have
Okay.
all kinds of car clubs coming out and groups of cars getting together themselves. I think we really do provide a place for people to get out and drive their cars, and a destination, like you're saying. Wimberley's a wonderful small town.
Mm-hmm.
It's got a couple of nice restaurants. It's got and the drive to Wimberley, if you go through hill country, is really pretty.
Absolutely.
So you give them the excuse to get out and about.
That's exactly right, and that's what our car club's all about: is getting out and driving our cars. And then the coffee and cars event is always well attended. And then our club's all about raising money for charity, of course, and we've got some good ones. So we raise some money through coffee and cars. There's no fee to attend, but we're selling T-shirts, the usual stuff. And yeah, able to help some local charities too.
And local for the Highway 12 community, or you want to name a couple of
Yes.
them?
We have two main charities, the Barnabas Connection and the Hayes Caldwell Women's Center. And both of those are just excellent charities. They really help families in need around the Wimberly area. So we really like supporting them.
Cool.
Yeah.
Talks
Yeah, and
too
it's-
fast.
so-
I can't write that fast.
So what
It's okay.
kind of car do you have?
Oh, like probably most guys, I got a little problem with car with collecting cars. So I've got a couple. I've got a 67 Camaro that I'm just finished paint and I just put the gas tank back the paint shop. The painter didn't want to hook up the fuel injection himself. So we did that, fired right up. So we've got a 67 Camaro, a 70 Corvette, and a 63 Corvette convertible.
Oh, wow.
I like the 70. That's
Yeah,
like the
70. They're all projects, right? They're all works in progress.
They're never
Works in
finished.
progress. Never finished.
So clearly he's a Chevy guy.
I am clearly a Chevy guy.
I noticed
Yep.
that.
Some cool,
Yeah,
some
and
cool
boy,
Chevys.
we sure
though.
have some nice cars in our club. We have about 75 members, and we have really interesting people. I mean, really good people. All car guys are good, help each other out all the time. But we have some real hot rodders with like 32 Fords, Willis's, 39 and 40 Ford Coupes, the real deal guys who can fabricate and weld and build engines, and just super talented and very helpful. And then we range all the way from there all the way up, lots of 50s, 60s, 70s cars, and then we kind of take a gap and we have a couple of new cars. Like I think we have one guy has a new Corvette, another guy has a new Mustang, who have kind of gone past the building on car stage, right? When you get past crawling on the floor and figuring out what's wrong with your suspension on your back, these guys have
You go buy
gone
something
past
new, modern
that
muscle.
age and that stage, and they buy some new cars, and they come out. They still socialize with the guys who are still turning wrenches and still doing stuff. So it's a great club.
Well,
Lots of good-
and you mentioned the time span of cars where it kind of went away after the 70s and didn't come back until more recently. I think most of the auto manufacturers domestically, their performance cars did the same thing. They
Yeah,
kind
there's
of
not
went
much,
away
not
into
much
the
to look
80s.
at in the 80s and 90s, is it?
So anybody sneak in with an E EV?
No, we haven't got one of those yet. I think that's coming. I think, in fact, what I wonder if Chevy and both Ford and Chevy have announced EV swap kits for old cars. I haven't seen one yet, and they're still too expensive. But I think talking 10 or 15 years from now, I think that'll be the trend, right?
Well,
I
we
think all
talked to the guy at Ford that they're touting their EV kit. The problem is they don't sell a controller with it.
Yeah, it's a basic bolt-in to the car, but you have to buy a controller from somebody else.
Yeah, and
the challenge is actually the batteries. Like I actually looked at this, and I'm still keeping my eye on it because I think someday it's going to make sense. Is that the battery pack's like 20 grand if you want any range at all, and by the time you do that, you're up to a almost new EV. And I don't know what I'm doing on electric cars yet, but yeah, the battery packs are hard to get and hard to fit.
Well, I have to tell you that I had, as a matter of fact, I'm going to review it later on in the show today. The new Ford F-150 Lightning, and it had the large battery pack, and the large battery pack was a $10,000 option.
Nice.
And I think Ford this week also announced an increase to the price of the F-150 Lightning because the cost of batteries went up, and it was like $3,800 increase
Oh no,
in price.
it's $8,000.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, because remember when they announced the Lightning, one of the big highlights of it was the fact that it was under $40,000 for an electric. Not anymore.
No, I don't think it's even close.
Well,
to
I
that.
was just at a Ford dealer, and I saw a Lightning on the showroom floor. Surprisingly, I thought they were all sold, but I looked at it, and man, that's a good looking truck, and the technology is really cool. But then I looked at the window sticker, 78 grand, and it had cloth seats and a pretty plain Jane interior. I don't know.
It was probably the Pro Series, just like the one that I had. It's a work truck. And,
Yeah, that might be it.
yeah, and clearly a $10,000 bump just because of the battery pack sent it up there to $60,000.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, for a work truck that they claim has 320 mile range on the battery once it's fully charged.
Not while it's working.
And yeah, I mean, you're doing 40 miles an hour and feathering the throttle
With the cruise set.
and the air conditioning off and that sort of stuff to get up
Wow.
there to 300 because the figures didn't work out for me. I mean, one trip from my house to work and back was 70 miles, and it sucked down about 80 miles worth of charge. Of course, I was doing 75, but still.
Yeah, but you were going with the traffic flow. You had
Correct.
to go that fast to keep from getting run over
Right.
Quietly.
quietly.
And I
Quietly
mean,
making noise.
don't get me wrong. I love the truck. It was great. Oh my God, the acceleration, it'll set you back in the seat. That was not adjustable, by the way. It was only adjustable forward and backward. I kind of felt like I was back in the 1960s when there was no electronic control for the seat. None.
Go put a King
Yeah.
Ranch interior in it and add that on top of
Well,
all
yeah.
of
So
it.
you're talking at least $120,000.
So, Bruce, when's your next meet?
Our next meet we have this Coffee and Cars first Sunday of every month in Wimberly. And then the next thing we're doing for a meet is I think we're sponsoring, and we go out and do the traffic control and judging for one of the best car shows I've ever been to, which is called the Rolling Sculpture Car Show. It's got its own webpage if anybody wants to look it up. It's October 16th at the Hill Country Galleria Mall, which is a beautiful outdoor mall. And there's hundreds of cars that show up from all over Texas. And so I think if any of the listeners are looking for some place to go, October 16th, come out and do that car show. There's so many cool cars. It got interrupted by COVID, of course, but the last time, and this year it's October 16th, but last time I was there, we were judging, beautiful 34 Cadillacs, and there was a, that 30, I can't remember what year it is, 34, 39 Bugatti. There was a replica of that. And oh my gosh, it was beautiful. So all the way up to lots of, again, 60s and the normal stuff you see of all the muscle cars that we all love. But yeah, that's a great show. And it goes, again, promotes a good charity, the BK Library, which does a lot of good work too. So yeah, that car show is really good. So that's our next event that we're sponsoring.
So is that one that you got to register for?
You do have to register for it. Yes. I think you can do you can do same day registration if you're coming out and show up.
So it's a one-day event, or
It's a one-day event.
Okay,
Yep.
so it's nothing
October
like
16th.
a drive-in where folks have to stay lodging and all that stuff.
Yeah, if you're coming up from where you guys are, you just have to get a hotel for that night, or drive up in the morning. If you get up early, you could do it.
There you go.
It's not that far.
Yeah,
No, it's not that far. And a beautiful shopping mall, outdoor beautiful shopping mall. So the venue's really good.
Yeah, but if you're going to drive up to Wimberly, through
You're
all
gonna
the
spend
nice
the
little,
night,
you're
'cause
gonna
Wimberly's got-
stop at all
Oh,
these
yeah.
nice little towns.
There's a lot of bed and breakfasts.
Exactly.
In Wimberley
So
too
you're
that are
gonna
pretty
make
cool.
a couple of day event out of it.
Yeah, you could come up for a weekend and see Wimberly. This Hill Country one's I think in Bee Cave, which is just
Oh yeah.
outside Austin.
Yep.
But it's a great event. So that's our next event. And again, monthly car cruises. If anybody is in Hill Country, come out to Wimberly, come meet us on a Sunday. And yeah, we're at about 75 members now. We've grown quite rapidly. I think people just have fun in our club and get to meet people, like-minded people, and do some good work for charity. It's all good.
Well, Bruce, it sounds great. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. 12 Kings Car Club.
Cool.
Got
Hey.
the first Sunday of the month.
Bruce, could you turn a little bit more, your shoulders a little bit more? The camera can't quite see all
See
your
the
logo.
logo?
There you go.
There we go.
That's what
There's
we're
the
looking
logo.
for.
Yep, 12 King shirts. Yep, we got the swag going.
All right. Well, you stay in touch with us, and we look forward to meeting you soon face to face.
Yeah, come on out. We'd love to see you.
Thank you. Bruce
Thanks,
Vanderzyde,
Bruce.
12 Kings Car Club. All right. Time now for the events calendar, Mr. DeLong.
Well, over the next couple of weeks, there's going to be the Chick-fil-A in Magnolia is going to have their first annual Fast Cars and Freedom Car Show.
Now, is this the cruise-in you're doing, or are you doing
Calendar.
the events?
the events calendar.
Events calendar.
Events calendar.
Okay.
So this
Because
is,
I always
this
get
is
scolded
stuff,
for
this
saying,
is stuff in the future. Events is or
Today.
Cruise in is stuff that's today and tomorrow.
okay.
So
Just want to make sure. That's
Okay,
what
your
I'm
time's
saying.
up now.
The 12 Kings in Wimberley's coming up the first of the month in September. Also on the 5th, Labor Day weekend, is a third annual bike and car show in Rosenberg, Texas. September 10th is the 5th annual car show at Lake Church, and that starts at 9 a.m. The Feed the Bug show at El Jardín Beach, September 10th. The Classic Car Show in Hockley starts at 10 a.m. on Saturday, September 17th. Sunday, October 9th, the Hot Rod Madness at the Rocks Sports Bar and Grill off of Louetta.
Wow.
Back to you, Don.
Have I been kind of poking the bear this morning?
No, not at all.
Not enough.
You're always the diva.
Yeah,
This isn't any different than any other.
You're right.
It
Any
depends
other
on what
day.
kind of color shoes he's wearing.
That's right.
Yeah.
Right now, I've got on the black loafers. Anyway, time now for this hour's car review. Mr. Mars had a chance to drive the 2022 Kia K5, and we had a discussion before we went on the air this morning. K5, do you think that Chevrolet went, shall we sue them or not?
Yeah.
Because-
Can we make their life miserable?
Because you remember it used to be the K5 Blazer.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, not anymore. It's a
And
car.
they had a K9 also, that's a much bigger car than what the K5 is.
I had a little brown one with spots.
Yeah.
I
long
got
tail.
one. I got one sitting right down there.
The old K9.
Okay, so
Go
what we're
ahead.
talking
Find a
about
place to
now
edit this.
is the 2022 Kia K5. We happen to have the GT trim level and front wheel drive. It's available actually in an LX, an LXS, a GT line, an EX, or the GT. So we have pretty much the top of the line. Now this is a mid-size sedan, so that kind of gives you an idea about how big it is. It is smaller than their K9. Now, this vehicle was first introduced in 2021, and it's actually a replacement for the Optima, which was a
Cool little car.
fairly popular car. And it's got some sporty styling. We've got the sloping profile lines on it, so it's very
Good.
stylish, if you will.
Very good looking car.
And it comes with the automatic on headlights, their LED daytime running lights and rear tail lights and the headlights, and it's got all the good things that you would want with a sporty looking midsize sedan. Now it does have an acoustic front windshield that contributes a whole lot to how quiet this thing is. It's remarkably quiet on the inside. Had the panoramic sunroof that we kept closed in the 110-degree heat, rear spoiler, and again, it's kind of got a nice sporty styling to it. Now you get on the interior, and I think this is a very user-friendly layout and design. Got leather seating with memory, heated in the front and ventilated in the front. We had the optional 10.25 screen in the center stack there for all the controls on everything, and it was kind of the way they've got it set up to get into the CarPlay and stuff. You've got to wire it in. You can't just do it wireless, hook up to it. You've got to actually plug into the USB if you want to get into Google CarPlay and do all that good stuff, which is okay, but it just seemed kind of weird with everything else that they had in there that you had to back up to do that. Premium Bose audio system. It had the wireless charger, which again is why I thought it was kind of weird that you actually had to use a USB to get to the Google CarPlay. So it also had the GT interior package, so it had some different logos and things on it. 16 cubic feet of trunk space in the rear of it. It's a nice size, particularly for that size of vehicle. Now, under the hood, it was a 2.5-liter inline-4 turbo with 250 horsepower, 311 pound-feet of torque.
That's pretty good.
Pretty quick. 8-speed automatic transmission, the dual clutch setup. And the EPA says you should be looking for 24 in the city, 32 out on the highway, 27 combined. Now, I got 26.3 across 324.5 miles the week that I had it. And again, it's pretty quick, got a lot of smooth power. I love the tranny combo with that engine because it wasn't searching for anything. It was where it wanted to be. And it's from a performance perspective, I don't know what else you'd do to it. I mean, I'm always big on more power, but you'd have to go to a bigger motor and all kinds of things.
Yeah, but 250 in that small a car is actually more than sufficient.
Oh, yeah, particularly if you happen to find some fresh asphalt that's on the ground. It's well sufficient to do anything
So
you
how
want to
was
do.
the on-ramp acceleration test?
It worked extremely well, and like I say, with those tire combination, it was nice.
I believe we're going to talk to Stephen Woodard with the Department of Public Safety later on today.
Have him set up out
Yeah,
there.
see where he's been for a while.
Where you
So
been?
this is not a track car, but it is very easy to drive. It's got more than enough power. I did like on the inside of it the seat bolsters. They're not real big like you would expect as a sports car, but they're there, and you know they're there. They weren't like overpowering or intrusive, but it felt good to have them like that. Now, if you're
you
looking,
fit between those?
I did. That's why I guess they were so good.
So you were sitting on the seat, not in the seat.
Well, on the front edges of it, so I could reach the pedals. So you can get into one of these cars for $24,885. Now, our base trim price was $31,090.
That was
and
with the GT.
with the GT, as tested, was $36,440.
That's not bad.
If you're looking for something to compare it to, a Honda Accord could start out at $27,619. A Nissan Altima, $24,900. And of course, I was surprised to find out the Toyota Camry is now starting at $30,595, which just puts it on the higher end of the mid-sized vehicles.
Mm-hmm.
But all in all, like I say, I
you
was
liked it.
rather impressed with it. Been a
good.
while.
I like Kia Hyundais. I do.
Kia Hyundais.
The sister car, the sister.
Oh.
Sister brands, because they actually share quite a bit of
Yeah.
mechanical stuff.
We do.
Yeah, they've got good styling.
Kind of like Oldsmobile and Pontiac.
Oldsmobile, Pontiac, Buick, all shared lots of stuff.
All right. Well, it's time to move on now. And I wanted to remind you before we did that the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week through the iHeartRadio app. Just look in on In Wheel Time Car Talk. We also stream on Facebook, YouTube, and InWheelTime.com. And podcasts are at your fingertips from your favorite podcast source. The In Wheel Time Car Talk Show continues right after this quick break. Get out the permanent marker and write on your wall calendar the next Tailpipes and Tacos Cruise-In, Saturday, September 17th, 2022. It's the fall edition of Tailpipes and Tacos at the Loopy Tortilla in Katy, 8 to 11 a.m. It's the only place cruisers compete for Loopy's Chili Pepper trophies and other prizes. There's no charge to enter your vehicle for Best Hot Rod, Best Classic, or Best Modern Classic. Tailpipes and Tacos is Houston's coolest and most unique cruise-in and is your opportunity to see the best hot rods, show cars, classics, and resto mods. And get Loopy Tortilla breakfast tacos with adult beverages. There's no entry fee, and cars will automatically compete for those much sought-after custom Loopy trophies and other prizes. It happens at the Loopy Tortilla Tex-Mex in Katy on the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard, just south of I-10. It's Tailpipes and Tacos Fall Edition, Saturday, September 17th. The In Wheel Time Car Talk Show will be there too. Celebrate the beginning of fall and the return of the Tailpipes and Tacos Cruise-In, Saturday morning, September 17th, 8 to 11 a.m. We'll see you then, weather permitting. Want to take a minute to tell you about Gulf Coast Auto Shield, a Houston detail company like no other. Gulf Coast Auto Shield offers paint correction services that'll give your car, truck, or SUV a like-new shine. Afterwards, you'll want to protect it with a professionally installed nano-ceramic coating or protection film. Worried about your very expensive windshield getting damaged, broken, or cracked? Let Gulf Coast Auto Shield install ExoShield, a windshield protection film. Give John Gray a call today or check out their website, gcautoshield.com. Hey, whether you own a new, ultra-expensive, exotic, or a 5-year-old Suburban, Gulf Coast Auto Shield will help keep your investment looking like the day it rolled off the assembly line. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is conveniently located on the South Sam Houston Parkway, just south of I-69, the Southwest Freeway. Meet the staff and check out all of their services online right now at gcautoshield.com. The In Wheel Time Car Talk Show is now part of the iHeart family. Now you'll have access to 24/7 Car Talk anytime you need a fix. Just download the iHeart Radio app and ask for In Wheel Time Car Talk, and there we are. Be sure to save us in your iHeart library for instant access. No matter where you are, you have the best Car Talk Show right on your PC, laptop, or mobile device and never have to worry about finding us again. Of course, you can always get access to our video and audio streams via InWheelTime.com and your favorite podcast channel, and all of this is free to you. From the iHeartRadio app, you'll not only hear our Saturday morning live show, but the best shows of the past, updated weekly. Never miss a minute of up-to-date new car reviews, pre-owned reviews, Conrad's Car Clinic, informative interviews, automotive news, and the most fun car talk show on the planet. Just download the iHeartRadio app, search for In Wheel Time Car Talk, save it to your library, and with a tap of the icon, you'll be in touch with your favorite Car Talk team. In Wheel Time Car Talk, streaming now on iHeart.com/InWheelTimeCarTalk.